All right, everyone. Welcome to another Mountain Man Monday. This is live stream episode number 27. Today is May 18th, 2020. As always, I hope everyone's having a great start to their week on this somewhat overcast, gloomy, rainy Monday here in the mountains. But it's following what was a very sunny and nice weekend. This May has been very nice here in the mountains. Really been enjoying being outdoors, doing a little bit around the house, outside, being able to walk and hike and do some other things. So it's been pretty nice. So we want to say hello to who is joining. We've got Tracy. Hello, Tracy. Good evening. I hope you're doing well and having a great start to your week and everything's going well. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, but check me on my memory, that congratulations again is in order for you on university graduation. If I'm correct, if I'm completely off base, drop a comment in there. But if I am, again, congratulations. That's a big, big deal. And so, excuse me, I got to lubricate the pipes here, get a little bit of water going. These live streams are awesome, but they are nonstop verbal on my behalf. So just getting a little bit of water going there. And I had just finished doing my quarantine at home workout. So I'm a little bit winded from that, but like everybody else, all the gyms are closed. So I do what I can with what I have here at the house and make the best of it to stay in shape. We also have Marvin Carlton is here. Hey, Mr. Mountain Man. Marvin is a great supporter of the channel. Great to have you here, Marvin. It's always nice having you here on Mondays and saying hello. And so I was right in my memory. Tracy, after 20 years, graduated from college. Excuse me. That's fantastic. I mean, education it's a tremendous gift to give to yourself or someone else, and that is a fantastic achievement. I'm a big believer in it. So hang your diploma with pride, and I hope that serves you well. That's really cool. It's really cool. So I know we'll get things going here in a minute and see who rolls in here. So if anybody is new to this, watching in the background or new to the live stream, I know there's other live streams going on in the community right now. So it might be a small, intimate crowd, but that's okay. Whoever wants to be here and enjoy, we always have a great conversation. And this will be the third week. And I'm going to continue to follow this format where I start off with a little bit of housekeeping, just general information for the channel, and then roll into some news and notes in the mountains and around for this past week before we get into just the open chat with the live stream itself. So again, I hope everybody's having a great start to the week. And again, I just finished my workout, so I'm a little bit sweaty, but I wore my black Steelers shirt today. It's a little difficult to see with the banner right there, but I do have it on, supporting my football team that I enjoy so much. We'll see what form that takes. Before I get the housekeeping and notes started, if you're into NASCAR started this past weekend again at Darlington, which is probably my favorite track on the circuit, or one of my favorites. So it was really cool to see that. And those guys get back to work. And then there is a race on Tuesday as well. So good for the whole community and NASCAR to get that going again, to get some live sports. Tracy said it took me 4 years to get an associate's degree because I worked over 40 hours a week, but I'm done finally. And even more impressive, Tracy, because working full-time and going to school, that's just being spread thin. It's really challenging. I remember my last couple of years in school. I don't think I ever was pulling 40 hours, but I was pulling 20 or 30 hours. It was a lot. It was really, I remember when I got my first job out of college and I didn't have to come home and do something else. So like you probably worked a job and then you had to come home and do your schoolwork or go to college and then go to work. Like, it was such a great feeling to just be able to work like roughly a 40-hour work week. I remember that. That was crazy. I was like, this is relaxing. I come home, it's 5, 6 o'clock, whatever, and I can just do whatever I want. That was cool. No homework. Hey, Foxy Wolf, Mr. Mountain Tracy, and everybody who's in here, Marvin Carlton. And again, such a great community here, and I really appreciate all you guys being here. So with that, let's get to the news and notes for the week. Let me get this going here, see if I can get a little bit better with the technology, and here we will go. All right, so let's see. Let me make sure. Yep, got that down packed. I'm getting better at this, and I should be a lot better. But let's see. Let me expand. Oops, wrong way. Give me 10 more seconds, and let me get the right banner on there. I need like somebody running the running the production here for me. I try to have all my ducks in a row. Okay, and then I can just, let me see if I get it back. So when I do this, it is a little difficult to get to the chat. So if you want to say something, feel free to do so or bring it back up as we move along. So first news and note, as this resizes here, we have a new video on the Mr. Mountain Man channel. If you haven't seen it, I know Foxy Wolf had, because you left a nice comment on it. I was able to go back with family to Chimney Rock, which is in Chimney Rock, North Carolina. So that's east, kind of southeast of Asheville, east of Hendersonville, North Carolina. And what we did were the Four Seasons Trail, which leads to the Hickory Nut Falls Trail, and ultimately to what you see in the picture there, which is Hickory Nut Falls. It is, as I mentioned in the video, the camera doesn't do it justice. Like, I watched the video back and it just looks like a waterfall. When you are there, your eyes, it is really difficult. It is like this wall, this cliff, and the water coming down. I believe I looked it up. It was over 400 feet. So make fun of me if my math's wrong, roughly, 10 feet a story, 40 stories or something, you're just looking straight up. The temperature got cooler, the mist coming off it, this huge wall was really beautiful. It was like 70 degrees that day. So anyway, I put this together. It's nice to have fresh content on the channel. There was some opportunities. I've just been busy with, the car breaking and stuff around the house and family and all that stuff. So it's been a little difficult to get fresh content, but I'm happy to have this here. I'm also becoming a little bit of a perfectionist when it comes to the video editing. I think that the greater of the decisions is to just get content out there for folks, but every little thing will drive me crazy. Like, I watched this video back and I noticed two things I didn't like. One with audio at a particular place, a particular fade, and all these things that people probably wouldn't even notice. It was driving me nuts. So I sit there and it's really difficult to stop the editing. But hopefully you guys have enjoyed it. I love Chimney Rock, one of my favorite places in Western North Carolina. We renewed our annual passes. It was a really good deal. And it was a lot of fun. It was nice to be able to check that out. And so I was really happy to go there. And then Tracy, I will get back to that comment, said graduated school in 93. I did some online classes for web design. Oh, cool. And then I went back to college in 16. You don't know how proud I felt getting that degree in the mail. I'll tell you what, I still, like I said at the beginning, and if anybody missed it, I mean, a big congratulations. That's a great accomplishment in life, really. Big, that's a big deal. So congratulations on that. So yeah, if you want to watch the Chimney Rock video, check it out, and I hope you enjoy it. Leave a comment either way, whatever you think. Next in the notes, or the housekeeping section, I've been mentioning the last couple of weeks that I do have an Instagram account now, and that handle is Mr. Mountain_man. And so you don't need an Instagram account to go to that link right there. If you'd like to, I can drop it in the chat here. Let me see if I can get over to that. So if anybody wants to see some pictures in the interim while I am coming up with fresh content, feel free to check it out. As you can see, I have some pictures from Chimney Rock and whatever else I just pressed there. Let's see, I probably clicked something. But yeah, So I've got some pictures from Chimney Rock, and this is some pictures of a deer and the weather and Mount Mitchell and the Blue Ridge Parkway and working out one day. So anyway, that's pretty cool. I also have a Twitter account under the same address. It's Mr. Mountain _man. So last thing in the housekeeping, I have been meaning to show this to everybody for like 2 months, and I always forget, and I finally remembered. So I am also a big NHRA fan, National Hot Rod Association. And when the quarantine started, Ron Capps, who drives the funny car, Napa Auto Parts, was saying that, you know, they weren't racing anymore. And he said, if you reply to this tweet with, you know, your name and, you know, Ron Capps is awesome, or I don't know, whatever it was, I'll send you a digitally signed, personalized card with your name on it. And he was doing that. And I was like, oh, how cool is that? So check this out. Hopefully it comes up here. There it is. Mr. Mountain Man. So from Ron Capps. That's pretty cool. I was fortunate enough that last June up in Norwalk, Ohio, I went to the NHRA race with the family. I'll tell you what, I've been to a whole host of NASCAR races in my life, probably 50 races. But I've only been to one NHRA race, and as loud as NASCAR is, the feeling of being at NHRA, I don't think there's anything louder on the face of this earth, maybe than standing next to a rocket launching at NASA or something. It is incredible. 10,000 horsepower in, the top fuel and funny car. It is unbelievable. So it was a lot of fun. I actually saw him in person because you can go into the pits very easily, unlike NASCAR where you need like a hot pass or a hard card or something like that. But here, you're able to walk around and was able to meet a bunch of drivers. So anyway, this was different. I just thought that was really cool. I wanted to share that with you all. So Mr. Mountain Man from Ron Capps, that was pretty fun. So yeah. All right. So that moves us into the next. Hey, we got Jason Bach here. Hey, Jason. Hope you're having a great Monday and always happy to have you here. And we also got the reviewer. And how, Mr. Mountain Man, how are you doing? I'm doing well. I am just getting things rolling here and happy that everybody is here. And you know what? Correction, I had the wrong banner up. So we were in housekeeping. Now we're going to do news and notes for the week of May 18th, 2020. I had my banners back. So, okay, that was the housekeeping for the week. And now we'll roll into officially the news and notes of the week. So what do we have happening here in the mountains and surrounding areas? So Blue Ridge Parkway, which for those of you that don't know, I'm sure all of you have heard of it, but the Blue Ridge Parkway goes from Shenandoah National Park in Virginia all the way to the Great Smoky Mountains National Park in Tennessee. It's a scenic highway. So for those of you that are not in this area of the country, it's just a beautiful, beautiful free thing to do in the mountains and drive and take pictures and go on hikes and see waterfalls and all kinds of fun stuff. Anyway, a bunch of it did reopen, but one of the things that you got to be aware of if you are traveling or looking at it is that the restrooms, specifically the restrooms, are still closed in the campgrounds. So listen, you get up there in the mountains, it's not like McDonald's is around or your gas station. You kind of need those public services. So, you are in nature. I'm sure people are using the restroom out in the nature and not to sound gross, but, I do think people are doing that because when we were at Chimney Rock, there's a couple of times we smelled something and didn't smell like a bear or a deer. So I don't know. It's a mixed, and I'm not trying to be gross, but it's people are enjoying the mountains and going on hikes, but there's no bathrooms. It's just nature. So something to be aware about, especially if you're taking family and kids and there's other people around, you got to plan for that. Like if you start drinking 5 bottles of water to stay hydrated, just be aware, you got to get to a city if you want to use like a public restroom, and then a lot of places are closed. So just be aware. And also the campgrounds. Also be aware that social distancing, I meant to talk about Chimney Rock. When we went to Chimney Rock and did that hike, it was packed. Like there was, if you guys watch the video, see my hands, I'm not exaggerating. In some places, the path, especially on the Four Seasons Trail, was this wide. And you'd have 2 families of 6 or 8 or friends passing each other. And if there's a cliff or it goes off the edge, you got to just kind of lean over. So I'm not saying here or there or talking anything about it. I'm just saying, like, if you're worried about that, these hikes and stuff, you think nature and being outdoors, and sometimes it's conducive to distancing and sometimes it's not. So just be aware about that, especially if that's something you're concerned about. Be prepared that other people will not be concerned about that. Again, I'm not making any statements either way. I'm just saying that if that's a health concern or something like that, and the thought is I'll get out and be out in the open, you get into these narrow hikes and it may not be so great like that. And so they're encouraging people to just be smart about it and keep your distance. But the good news is that most parts of it have reopened, so you can enjoy the Blue Ridge Parkway. Next piece of news. Let's take a look here. Okay, so over in and beautiful, it's covering all these ads. Let's see if we can go through here. Oh, we don't want to. I don't take that away. All right, so all right, it's exciting. Dollywood is planning reopening as state allows amusement parks to reopen next week. So again, I'm sure most people know what Dollywood is, but Dollywood's amusement park in East Tennessee and Pigeon Forge. So Tennessee was kind of at the front or leading edge, or whatever you want to say, kind of like almost like Georgia in reopening and going through the phases very quickly. Again, not making statements in that, but neither here nor there. But they are opening or their plans. They haven't made an official announcement on Dollywood's site. It still says that they're not open yet. But because the state is allowing reopening starting May 22nd in 89 counties, plan on seeing, as they say, an announcement soon. There's an official page on Dollywood's site. So all of those of you that are interested on that side of the mountains over there in Tennessee, I think if you have Dollywood season passes or passes, probably at a limited capacity, probably taking a note from like Disney World and how they're doing it. That would be Shanghai because the actual Disney is not open yet. I'm sure that it will be at a reduced capacity, but just wanted to let you know. So if you're excited about that, that's something to look forward to. We personally don't have passes or tickets for it. I don't think we would do that this year, but it's something we may look forward to in the future. Next up, over back here in the Asheville area, it was an interesting article that came out today. 5 spots for great barbecue while you're quarantining in Asheville, North Carolina. So one of the great things, there's so much focus on, as I talk about other parts of the mountains or the tourism areas, but Asheville is a huge tourism area too. We're kind of like the hub. We get a lot of people from a bunch of different states, and there's great diversity in food and culture in Asheville, North Carolina. And because it's part of the South, you're also going to get great barbecue. So they list a few places: Black Bear, Buxton Hall, Haywood Steakhouse, High Ridge Adventures Outfitting, and Luela's Barbecue. And they talk about, Eastern style, Texas style, and the different kinds. So it was interesting. I don't know if any of you are familiar with Asheville, but one of the ones I was surprised to not see on there, which I really like, and it's a little bit of a drive, but is this one here, Little Pigs in Asheville. It's Asheville's oldest barbecue. This place is absolutely delicious. Stop there. One time after our baby boy was born and went to get some food for the family, and they forgot to give us all the fried chicken that we ordered. So, silly me, you're supposed to check takeout orders, and I didn't. And so I got home and like half the food was missing. So I called them up and they said, next time you're by, go ahead and we'll give you the chicken. So I went in and explained it. And the guy ended up also throwing in a free lemon meringue pie too. I just thought the customer service was top notch. But anyway, yeah, if you're ever in Asheville, the barbecue was awesome here. The sauce and the barbecue was really good. If you're into barbecue, Southern barbecue, you got to eat or at least get takeout from Little Pigs in Asheville. Very, very good. Next up. So over there in Cherokee, North Carolina, just kind of as, mentioning things that are reopening, the casino, which I've never been to, but is reopening, gradual reopening starting on May the 18th. And they have different areas, the gaming floor and some restaurants where the distance can be practiced will be open. Where it's not possible, like my favorite type thing, buffet, not open. Some they said invitation only, early. I think the really good thing about this is what's in bold down below, which says, the furloughed employees will begin to get back to work. We want to see people as safely as possible get back to work so as to not, have the economy hurt any more than possible, but at the same time respecting distancing and being safe and all those good things. It's not a perfect science. Nobody has it figured out. But in a vacuum, I'm just happy when people can get back to work safely. So anyway, again, I've never been to the casino. I've driven by it, but if for folks that do like that, you're starting to see the mountains and the activities start to open back up. So that's pretty good. On that topic of not casinos, but speaking of buffets, I particularly like buffets. I like to eat. I try not to eat super unhealthy, but I'm not really overly health nut either. I'm kind of a happy medium. I just exercise a lot to help balance it, but I don't eat trashy all the time. But when I go to a buffet, I do like to eat. I get a lot of protein and enjoy. And so, yes, I am a fan of like Golden Corral, and a lot of people don't like Golden Corral. I think Golden Corral is one of the best buffets, not only for family, but and I'm not talking about high-end buffets. I've been to like Grove Park and other places that are like high-end, your anniversary or a holiday meal or something like that. You're talking $50, $60 a person. But on average, I'm not going to those places but once a year. But Golden Corral with the family, you get, we go out as a family to a restaurant, and one of the kids' meals at a sit-down restaurant might be $6 or $7. And the food is almost non-existent. And I'm not talking about getting my kids to overeat or anything, but I mean, literally, they're still hungry. And then, my wife's giving them food off of her plate, and it defeats all purpose. And the bill's still expensive. And I'm like, what are we doing here? It's really expensive, and nobody's getting full. That's why we like buffets, because the kids are picky, and everybody gets to get what they want. And I like the buffets. So, yeah, I think Golden Corral's great. I like it. But buffets in general, I don't know how they're going to do it with what's transpired. I really am concerned for companies like Golden Corral. I know I don't have the news article here, but in certain states, some of them have already gone under, like franchisee, certain locations have already closed permanently. It's a shame. I don't know how they're going to open. I mean, some buffets were gross to begin with. Like, we like Cece's buffet as a family, but that's got to be one of the nastiest buffets because it's so cheap that you just get droves of people. And you talk about things that are unimaginable now, people, and then picking up the pizza and stuff. And I'm not trying to gross you out. It's just your buffets can be unsanitary. So you try to, what we would always do is when we would come back to our seat, this was before the virus and all that, we always had hand sanitizer on the table because after touching the tongs, you want to use it before you pick up a, biscuit or chicken or whatever, hamburger, pizza. So we were always trying to be clean anyway. But yeah, I don't know how they're going to operate. I'm really curious to see if it's the end of it or if it has to evolve somehow. Like maybe buffets are like, you don't touch, more like cafeteria style where you're not paying a la carte, but maybe they serve you. But the only problem with that model is, the business model behind it, the amount of staff that you're going to need and the lines that's going to create. So instead of self-service, you've got to ask for something. You're going to start creating lines in order to get served. So I don't know how they'll manage that, but we'll see. We'll see how things continue on. I personally would love to see buffets come back and not be a thing of the past, but who knows? We're in a new world. It's an imperfect science. Next piece of news. I had mentioned this last week. It's just kind of an interesting, I had mentioned that when we were in the car, the kids were like, oh, it feels like we're going 100 miles an hour. And we were going like 35 because they haven't been in the car in a while. And the Asheville police were saying, be aware, like it's been a while since we've been, for many people, this could be the first time driving in several weeks. So I was just, mentioning it too, because watch out when you're on the road, there's going to be people driving for the first time and, maybe getting their bearings back and stuff. So just be on the lookout, especially, on 2-lane roads and stuff like that. Be safe out there. Let's see. Plenty of ads to go around. Ripley's. I was curious what's going on with Ripley's because we bought Ripley's season passes and have not been able to use them yet. except for one time. If you've seen my video on Ripley's Believe It or Not over in Gatlinburg. So it's kind of cool because now open, Old McDonald Farm and Davy Crockett Mini Golf is open in Gatlinburg. And so I would love to go over there if it could, you know, I would think with mini golf being on the holes, you could keep your distance and such. So we'll just have to see. Maybe this is something we'll be able to do this summer and check out, you know, so it's not one of their indoor attractions, but you know, the mini golf is kind of expensive. I mean, I know for an adult, it was like $10 to $15 a person for a round. So yeah, you definitely love the season passes there because, you know, a round of golf for a family of 4, 5, 6, whatever you have, or even 3 or 2, you know, you're 30, 40, 50, $60 for putt. So yeah, anyway, I'm looking forward to doing that and getting back. And they do have this COVID-19 updates right here. It's a bot. And so the bot will ask you, like, if you say schedule updates, and it'll start to plug it in, and it queries that, and it says, we do not have a time frame for opening the aquarium and attractions. So anybody who's familiar with that stuff over in Tennessee, they do not have a set timeline. That's their current information on COVID, but they do have the mini golf open. So maybe get to enjoy that and head over there and have some fun. Last thing. No, we do not want to subscribe. But here in the Asheville area, down in Hendersonville, North Carolina. So if you guys have seen my video about the Apple Festival last fall, that's in Hendersonville, North Carolina. They unveiled a series of barefoot and bears. And these are, as I understand, they are auctioned off for charity later. And the artists create those. And so if you've ever seen the pumpkin figures or people in downtown Gatlinburg or some of those decorations, that's kind of the same. I mean, it's not identical, but the same idea. And then let's see if we can get another photo in there. The browser is not cooperating with me. So, but, oh, there we go. And you can see some of the bears. And so they did a live stream because they couldn't have the ceremony in downtown Hendersonville. But the barefoot, what do they call it? The Barefoot and Art and Walk. And that video is probably hurting some of my bandwidth. So yeah, that's pretty cool. So if you get to go to Western North Carolina and want to head to downtown Hendersonville, has a lot of shops, shopping and restaurants, and just a very quaint and quiet place, free to park, really easy to navigate. I recommend checking some of that out. So that concludes. Let me go ahead and close this down and stop the screen. And that concludes the news and notes for the week of May 18th, 2020. Did I get a little bit blurry there? Yeah. So, hey, let's check out some of the comments. Move into our open chat here. And so it looks like Tracy took off. So I hope you have a good night. And let's see. Oh, we got Rita. Hey, hello, Mr. Mountain. I was watching your friend Brett make your mallet. That was very interesting. I saw your Chimney Rock video today. Great video as always. Yeah. So a shout out. Let me see if I can get this to get in focus again. Sorry about that. I'm looking a little fuzzy. Brent from the White Lab Workshop, he made this mallet right here. And I do have a video. Well, he's got a video on his channel where he makes this. And he cut into me in front of some mountains in Tennessee, talking about the mallet. Then he shows how the mallet's made. It's really interesting how this was put together, and how he put all the lettering on there and how he assembled the pieces. It's really pretty interesting. So if you're into any kind of woodwork, or you just like that in general, like if you watch like HGTV or do it yourself or any of this stuff like that, it's a fun channel to subscribe to. Not exactly the same, but I have another YouTube channel, as I've mentioned many times here. It's called The Eclectic Handyman, where it's just random mechanic and home and fix it up videos that I do around the house. I've actually published a few videos recently on the my car. I have some more on deck for that. But yeah, Brent has a good channel over there. And so happy that you're enjoying that too, Rita. That's pretty cool. Let me see. Sorry, I'm putting my hand in front of it because it drives me crazy when I look at it and it's fuzzy. the fuzziness is not from the, it's funny because this is a pretty good camera. I mean, I say it, but I have a video where I reviewed this camera, and I never published the video on the channel, and I should have, because it was kind of cool, but it's now out of context because I've been using it for 8 months or something. And in the video, I say, I just got the camera, and I look forward to using it on the live streams. So I'm like, it's kind of wasted video, but it's kind of neat. I don't know. It's too late to publish. So I guess that's part of the problem if you wait too long. We've got Lily. Hey, Mr. Mountain Man. Sorry I can't stay, but want to stay hello. Take good care. Stay safe. Glad to have you here. Hope everything's going well up in your northeast neck of the woods, if you have not left already. Yeah, Foxy Wolf says, in reference to my Chimney Rock news, and nature happens. That's right. I mean, that's nature. So good, I'm clear again. Well, at least on my end, I'm clear. So whatever I did, my hand gestures or something. Yeah, so, it was no big deal, but it is something you got to plan for. If you're going to go out in the wilderness, figure out what your bathroom plan is. If you're running solo and you're, whatever, you're probably no big deal. But if you've got, a parent or a child or, whatever, somebody, you just gotta have a plan. That's all. Chad Loveless, good evening, Mr. Mountain Man and all. And good evening to you as well. I hope you're having a great start to your week. Foxy's got a good joke here. It's a gamble wherever you go, not just a casino. Well, that's true. On that note, having small children, it really is. Not to be gross, but yeah, like public places, like a lot of them are just not that well kept. It's kind of nasty to go to the bathroom, especially when you have small kids that can't take care of themselves. So, yeah, on a funny note, humorous note, yeah, it is kind of messy. Even before all this craziness happened about, where you go to a bathroom and being out, nothing like home. A vlogger from Vegas he has said that the buffets out there are going to become like cafeterias, where someone serves you what you want. Okay, I didn't even read your comment, Marvin, but that's interesting because that was my hypothesis on how they're going to do this. It makes sense. My concern was, and I'll be interested to see if you have any follow-up comment, is, again, that business model. Because right now, and staff is one, I'm not a business owner, but staff is, usually, as you hear, one of the most expensive parts of a business, because you've got health insurance and benefits and all those things, you got to pay them. So, right now the staff is mainly consumed at buffets with just restocking and cooking and cleaning, and maybe, cleaning both behind and in front. But now you got to have full-time dedicated staff, every, small section of just serving. And so you're going to have to increase your staff. What? I don't know, 25, 30, 40%, maybe 50. I don't know. And so maybe they just do. Maybe that's the world. And maybe buffets go up 1.5 times in price. If you used to pay $15, it's $20, $22, and you're just getting that full service. They put up the plastic shields. There's just a little tiny opening, and they plop it through. I guess, well, it's been a while since I've been to a cafeteria. Maybe your plate goes along like a line, and you keep saying, I want this, and it goes down the line, and then they put it out. I bet you that, and then they put it out. And then the whole thing could be plexiglass or whatever they use, that stuff. So yeah, that's a good. I'm wondering if that's how it's going to be. Hey, Kentucky Girl. Hello, Mr. Mountain Man, and everyone in the chat, and hello to you as well. Glad to have you here, and hope you're having a nice evening. Hey, look who we got here, and I might be behind a few minutes, but Saxy Matt. Saxy Matt, good evening to you. Hope you're doing well. For folks who enjoy musical instruments, piano, keyboard, Saxy Matt, I probably won't be comprehensive on everything you do on your channel, but I know on Fridays he's been playing the keyboard and music on request and popular hits and all kinds of stuff. So if you're looking for some of that, check it out. Saxy Matt, as I mentioned, I did comment on it. Sometimes running errands and stuff happening after work on Friday, I'm not always able to attend that live, but I always like to check it out later. Very good job, and that was really cool. So yeah, hey, I'm gonna skip down to this one. Rita says you are very blurry. Rita, is it still blurry now? Let me know. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, Kentucky Girl says that too. The video is looking fuzzy. I hope it's getting clear. I'm telling you, I do everything that I can to, and I'm sorry, I do everything that I can to try to get all the bandwidth I can, because I have the best internet offered, and unfortunately it's still not enough. And I wish I had a button where I could just, or get a better internet, but the upload speeds are kind of and so I apologize about that. And I know it looks bad, and I probably lose people from wanting to join my live stream because it looks grainy, and that frustrates me, but there's nothing I can do about it. I go around telling everybody in the house, turn off Wi-Fi, don't stream Netflix, don't stream, Disney and all that stuff. And I know people probably pop in and they see the live stream and it's all grainy and they immediately leave, which is unfortunate because I think I have kind of fun stuff to communicate and enjoy for folks. But I do my best, and it stinks because I've watched the live streams before and it'll go back and forth and it gets really good. So then I wonder if some of it also has to do with YouTube, because my upload speed is not that great. Maybe at certain points, if YouTube, is getting bogged down, that doesn't help my case for the clarity. So I hope it clears up. We'll have to see. Yeah, sorry about that. Kentucky Girl said, I checked Twitter today to see if you're going to have a chat tonight. Do you still post money on Twitter? You got me, Kentucky Girl. I did not, and I thought about it. I was like, I couldn't. This sounds terrible. So you know what? I should just do it every Monday. Either way. Last Monday I did. I said I'm going on around 8. This Monday I didn't, and my memory had said I only post to Twitter when I cannot do the live stream. You know what? I should just be organized. Every Monday, whatever time I'm planning on doing it, because you all know that sometimes I can't do it till 8. There have been times in the past where it was like 9:30, and then there were some times I was going on at 7. So you're right, Kentucky Girl. I should post to Twitter every week about what time I plan on it. And tonight I had planned on about 8 o'clock. So thank you for calling that out. I appreciate that. And I always appreciate all the feedback on the channel. If there's anything I can do to help communicate or get the information out to you all, you let me know. So thumbs up for that. I'm sorry I didn't, but yes, you are right. I will do that. Marvin says, the line method is something they talked about. You don't get to touch the plate until the end of the line. You'll still be able to eat as much as you want. That's cool. Yeah, so Marvin, and that's what I was wondering too. You must be reading my mind, or I'm reading your mind, or something like that. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So I guess if we have to pay that premium for the increased staff, or however they model it, or maybe they don't increase the staff and you just have to wait in line a long time to, make all your requests. And that's fine too. They'll make new line queues. Maybe they'll design restaurants differently so that they can funnel you through and remodel restaurants and stuff. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see. And I bet you it'll be a lot better, after a vaccine comes out and we can kind of tackle this a little bit better. Foxy Wolf says, Tennessee has open buffets in Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge as business as usual. That's interesting. Foxy Wolf, you don't have to mention, are you from that area, or do you visit a lot? Like, have you been there firsthand to see the buffets, or just read about it? That'd be interesting. I could get that in the news and notes for next week. Listen, I said in the news and notes, it's an imperfect science. Everybody's got their own, opinions on how to handle it. I tend to listen to people that are higher than my pay grade as far as scientists and epidemiologists and folks like that about how to handle this. But that close quarters, it could be kind of risky. But I don't know. So we'll just have to wait and see. But I'd love to know if you've been to one of the buffets, on your vacation, or how it's going there. Certainly in Western North Carolina, there's nothing. Restaurants aren't even open yet except for takeout. We're still in like phase 1 of the reopening here in North Carolina. We not in a political sense, just in a definition sense, have been much more conservative than some of the surrounding states. Again, not in a political sense, just in a phased approach. We've been more conservative than Tennessee and Georgia on how that's been open. So, Chad says, how's the weather been down there? Been cold today and yesterday. Finally warming up to 60s and 70s. Can't wait. That's unusual this time of the year for Wisconsin. Yeah, Chad. And I have some friends that live up there. in the Wisconsin and Minnesota area. So, and I've been up there traveling before. It's interesting because I've been in the winter and oh my goodness, is it cold? But your summers can compete with the best of them and get up to 100 degrees. So I know when you get that medium ground weather, it's just wonderful. It was very nice this weekend. I mentioned at the beginning of the live stream that the weather today has been kind of the pits, and we're supposed to have rain for like 4 or 5 days. I was painting outside yesterday, almost all weekend, actually. My weekend was all about painting on some deck railing, and a lot of labor, but I got it in time because it's supposed to rain for like 5 days in a row. I don't think we're supposed to get any really sun until Saturday unless the weather changed, but the weather has been 60s, 70s, and 80s. We got into the low 80s this weekend. So it's been nice. The mountains have been beautiful. I'm in North Carolina. May is probably one of my favorite months of the year. Everything is green, but it's not blazing hot yet. With the exception of last year, because we broke records at the end of May for high temps, but that was a bit of an anomaly. You know, when you get that 60s and 70s and sometimes at night in the 50s, maybe even high 40s, I mean, you don't have to run the air conditioning a lot. It's nice when you go outside. Everything's beginning to be basically in full bloom. Really, really nice time. So yes, the fall is awesome. Everybody wants to be in the mountains in the fall because the leaves changing. But I think May is awesome. I think like a Memorial Day weekend vacation, I mean, aside from everything that's happening right now, you know, would be an ideal time to visit Western North Carolina. Rita says it might be the weather there tonight. Well, the ones who really like you will watch even if it isn't clear. And I appreciate that. That means a lot to me, Rita. Thank you so much. And I hope that's the case, that we got like a fun group of regulars here that want to be here on Monday, because I only do the live stream once a week. And I always want to have fresh new content for you guys on a weekly basis. And again, I might miss it from week to week, but I really do love the folks that come in here and hang out. And believe it or not, I'm pretty diverse in a lot of the topics that I can, you know, discuss. I typically do keep it to like the general theme of my channel, meaning the mountains and surrounding area and what I do. But I'm not pigeonholed to that. There's a lot of things I do outside of that. If any of you all ever bring up a topic and we go on a tangent, you know, motorcycles, bowling, Disney World, NASCAR, NHRA. I don't do much in the music, but we talked about playing music one time, or going on cruises or vacations or blah, 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 anything. I don't care. It doesn't have to be all, you know, bluegrass, you know, hills and mountains. I mean, I love the mountains, Mr. Mountain Man, but we can talk about, you know, anything that folks like to talk about. In fact, my Chimney Rock video was interesting because you know how YouTube recommends video? And there was a really cool video from another channel where somebody took a drone, but it was like 6 years old, and went over Chimney Rock and Lake Lure, which you're not allowed to do drones at Chimney Rock anymore. That was kind of early on when drones were coming out. The first comment in the video said, finally, a video from Appalachia that doesn't have bluegrass music playing in it. Nobody put a thumbs up on it. This wasn't my channel. This is another. But it did get me thinking. I was like, yeah, it is kind of a stereotypical theme. Even I do it on my channel. It does fit the ambiance of the mountains to play that kind of music. That's not exactly the music I'm playing in my car or anything like that. It just fits the theme pretty well. Because, you know, if I was making like bodybuilding videos or weightlifting, I might have something a little more intense or metal or rock or so, I don't know, whatever. But the theme, because the mountains are kind of tranquil and they're relaxing. So usually that's the type, but I just found it kind of a humorous, interesting comment that somebody had said that. But anyway, back to Rita's comment. Rita is like, listen, I don't want to single anybody out as like the biggest supporter of the channel, but Rita is a tremendous supporter of both the Eclectic Candyman and Mr. Mountain Man channels, and I appreciate it. I hope you enjoy it. I hope it's quality content. I don't know if you were here at the beginning, but I was talking about one of my faults is becoming a perfectionist at video editing. And some of you might be watching and saying, well, the videos aren't that perfect. I mean, believe you me, I notice everything. If there's too much sound, if I don't transition well, if I make a mistake and publish before something, and because my upload speed stinks, like I don't Like that Chimney Rock video took almost 24 hours for me to upload. It was crazy. It was just so slow. It just stinks of the internet. So yeah, I really want to make quality videos. So I hope you guys, enjoy all that stuff. Let's see here. Sexy Matt brought down the house this past Friday. Yeah, as I mentioned in the comment, there was Kansas and Berlin from Top Gun, and there was ABBA, and there was some other rock and classic hits and stuff. So it was really cool. Check out Sexy Matt's channel and check out some of his videos. I would have to push someone off the mountain if they tried to pass me on those narrow trails. Yeah, I mean, at first on those trails, like I said, it was a little bit shocking because Chimney Rock, this was the day after Mother's Day. No, sorry. It was Mother's Day we went out there. It was the day after Chimney Rock had opened. So whatever that was, May 10th, 11th, 9th, I think is when it opened. We were out there the 10th. And we got on the trail and it was packed. It was like you couldn't control the environment. Like at the grocery store, like I can go down a different aisle or try to move or, manage. But this was tough. And so it was kind of like, oh, what do? You turn your back and move. But like I said, and not to ramble on about the same point, but if that's a concern of yours and you folks are in the mountains or going out, be prepared that other people won't have you as their concern. So just be aware that it's not all just wide open. There's a lot of people have the same idea. They want to get out of the house. Continue Girl says, congrats, is Tracy, because I know it corrected. What's your degree, if you don't mind me asking? Video looks much better. Thank you. I didn't do anything. It probably just, I noticed that, and I go back to my live streams and I don't want to use the word embarrassing because I can't do anything about it, but it's deflating, I think, because I'm like, people are going to come to my channel and they watch that and they're going to be like, because it's not 4K or 1080p or high def. And so like Rita said, the audio hopefully is clear. If the audio is crystal clear, people can at least listen. I mean, all I'm doing in the video anyways is just me. I'm not really showing anything. I mean, I show the mallet once in a while. Oh, well, I showed the screens earlier. Hopefully, because most of those are stills, you're able to at least see it and it's coming through okay. But other than that, you're just looking at my face. So yeah. I meant to say Tracy, so I'll blame it on autocorrect. I've not been personally yet, but went to the restaurants' websites and read for several places. Curious because Georgia's not doing buffets yet. Oh, that's interesting. So, and I know Georgia, as I mentioned, from what I read, is on the leading edge of reopening. So even them being on the leading edge, they said no to buffets. So thank you for that feedback. And I will be looking that up. Hopefully I remember. I should make a note. Maybe next week I'll get some articles and some current news on what's the thought on buffets and things like that. Because again, I like them. I know a lot of people say they don't. Hey, have you ever been to those all-you-can-eat pancake places, but it's not a buffet? The only problem with those is you have to order them at the table. So I got excited. Like we used to go to like Steak and Shake when we lived in Florida, and they had all-you-can-eat pancakes. And you'd be hungry and you'd want to be on a roll. And then they bring you out like 3 little pancakes, and I'd be like, blah, blah, blah. And I'd eat them real fast. And they're like, yeah, can I get another, set of hotcakes? And it would take like 10 minutes. And then they bring 3. And then if I eat those real quick, and I wasn't like competitive eating or anything, but like, can I get some more? And then everybody was done with their breakfast and you'd have to wait. So it actually wasn't worth it. The whole hype about all you can eat. The only advice I have, and everybody's probably thinking the same thing, as soon as they serve you, you say, can you go ahead and bring me another order to get that going? So by the time you finish the first plate, but if you want a third plate, then you're going to be making your guests wait unless they got all you can eat pancakes too. I love pancakes. That is one, I've talked about that in previous live streams, and of all the custom pancake or one-off pancake places and stuff that have been, I still like Denny's pancakes a lot. In fact, I'm looking forward to maybe getting some takeout or going there again. I know it's a chain, but they just do a good job. They don't burn them. They're nice. They taste good. I'm getting hungry. I want some Denny's pancakes right now. Denny's. I like IHOP too. Mr. Mountain Man, have to go. Have a good rest of the night. You as well, Sexy Matt, and thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. Bluegrass is in the history of that mountain area. That, Foxy, you're right. I'm not taking anything away. I think on the sense of being original, playing that music is probably not, I don't really play any differences, but I do try to theme my music based on the area that I went to. Like my videos, Myrtle Beach did not have bluegrass music. The Cabana Bay video in Florida did not have, other than the intro, other than the Mr. Man intro, which, by the way, a little YouTube note, the intro that I have on my channel, I love, but it breaks a lot of YouTube get more subscriber rules, believe it or not. And you guys know that that's not my thing. I've always said, and I truly mean, this is a fun thing. I'm not aggressively trying to grow the channel. I just want it to grow organically for the quality of content I put out, but I haven't been like over marketing. But I do a few things that are, not in the suggested realm. One of those is that opening. My opening is roughly 22 seconds long or 20 seconds long. I like it because it's a montage of some of my favorite clips, like the motorcycle and all the stuff going on. But that longer intro will get newcomers to the channel, statistically, if they have to watch something like that, will click off. And so and there's all these statistics about when do people drop off when they watch videos. So I struggle because I should have like a 2-second branding like Mr. Mountain Man and then just cut right to the video. But I have a hard time taking out that intro because I like it. And I'm doing things that I like, not because they're always the perfect formula for success. So anyway, if you have any feedback on that, you can let me know. But yeah, my intros have bluegrass, but I always try to theme the music for the videos. By the way, a lot of people always ask, I've heard it on the Yankee in the South channel and other channels, like people always say, where does that music come from? And where's the music? It's stock YouTube audio. Actually, I'll go ahead and paste the link because I have it saved. It is, if you guys find it interesting, because you don't, I'm gonna put it in the chat. You can go through the genre and you can pick anything. You'll find all the music. Like if you search, it's called country folk, I believe. And if you say bright and happy and you put the filters on, you'll come across the music of all the popular channels. Like you'll see like Yankee in the South, you'll find mine, you'll find all of them. There's a trucker channel that I use that I've seen, a lot of music gets recycled because the audio from YouTube, you don't have to worry about those copyright strikes. So that's why it's really good. I'm just going to jump down here real quick. Ted and Deborah Harrison, hey, welcome back and glad to have you stop by tonight. Howdy from Delroy, Ohio. Enjoyed your vlog on Chimney Rock. Thank you. I hope you did enjoy it. We've been talking about that a little bit tonight. Good job. Take care and stay safe. I am trying to stay safe with the family, and I hope you guys are as well up there in Ohio. That's really cool that you stopped by. I remember you guys were here last week and said you were new to the channel, so that's really cool. Thank you. Chad said, good to see some sports back, like NASCAR, and talking about come back even if it's without fans for the time being. Yeah, Chad, I know you came in a little bit later. I was talking a little bit about Darlington earlier. Darlington was on. Darlington, there'll be another race in a few days. Tomorrow. Darlington's one of my favorite tracks. I have been there several times. I was also mentioning I'm a fan of NHRA drag racing, and it showed a digitally personalized picture from Ron Capps in the Napa funny car that I had gotten on Twitter. But yeah, I like NASCAR and had ties into the sport and have been a fan since I was a kid. So enjoy it very much. Happy to see it back. I think they did a tremendous job with distancing and respecting that and the technology. It was really cool to see. I didn't get to watch a whole race. I still have it on the DVR because I was painting. But I did see who the winner was, and accidentally, because I wanted to watch it on replay. And when I was looking for all those news and notes, I tripped across it. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So I am happy that NASCAR is back. Rita asked if the baby was with me at us at Chimney Rock. Don't know how you carried him up those steps. Yes, the baby was we got one of those baby carriers. Like we didn't have these with the previous kids, but these, it's like this harness you put on and the baby go, you probably seen them before. Just got it at Walmart and the baby goes in it. And at one point I had a backpack on and I had the baby in the front. And my wife was like, no, I can help. And I'm like, I have these muscles for some reason. Let me use them. So I, the backpack, the baby, some of my camera equipment, and it was a hoot. It was cool, and he enjoyed it. Got a little fussy a few times, but I think the fresh air was nice. It was really pretty cool. And so that was a fun experience and got some good pictures. I will tell you one thing about also about the Chimney Rock hike. Almost like humorous. Like I typically I feel like I'm a person of details and I pay attention to details, but I guess with so many things going on, stuff slips my mind sometimes. So we're going to Chimney Rock and I have all my equipment ready, like the gimbal. The gimbal makes it so that the video is soft and flowing, and it uses a motorized, like gimbal so that it stays steady. My Mount Mitchell film, I use the gimbal, and I've had the gimbal since last year. But then the wind, when I went to Mount Mitchell, I had a wind mic. It's one of those big puffy mics, but I didn't have the right adapter for my phone. So there was a lot of wind, and I had to spend a lot of time editing out the wind, and that was frustrating. So I go to Chimney Rock. I have the adapter. I have the microphone. I charged up the gimbal the night before to full charge. I get to the park. I put the phone in the gimbal. I turn it on. It's dead. The gimbal was dead, and I did not have the right charger with me. I was so upset because it still frustrates me because I love the video that I took. I'm not happy with the content because I felt it was shaky, and it should have never been like that because I have a gimbal. And I even talk about it in my first Chimney Rock hike that I need to get one. So I was really disappointed, again, with the perfectionist side of me, that I didn't have the gimbal because I want these things to be keepsakes for myself as well, the video. And so I had the wind mic that I had to hold with the phone, but I didn't have the gimbal. So one day the stars are going to align and I'm going to do this right. And I'm going to get much more organized. I need to get I have the gimbal in a case, but then I have the mic and then the attachment and the batteries and the chargers. I need to get a checklist together and bring that stuff and then double check, because it was a little crazy with the family and everything. And we were trying to get out that day and I'm like, oh, it's charged. And I get out there and it didn't work. So a little disappointing, but yeah, anyway, that was cool. So that was kind of an interesting anecdote. Hopefully you all didn't notice, but if you did, I'm sorry. I wanted to use the gimbal. So I don't need the gimbal because it's kind of the rig is about that tall. I don't normally use the gimbal like if I'm going to do like a restaurant or like if I went to like Ripley's or did something like that. But if I'm doing any kind of hike or walking, I want that thing to smooth out the video. So yeah. So Kentucky Girl said, I'm a big fan of bluegrass, and that's awesome. So check out that link that I put in there because you'll see like all the music from the community. Again, do country folk, bright, happy, and then you'll get the filter and start playing the songs, and you'll recognize half of them from YouTube. Hey, Karen Story's here tonight. Karen, you caught us right at the tail end of my live stream. I'm so happy that you're here. We had a lot going on tonight. We had the housekeeping, news and notes of the week, talked a little bit about buffets and Dollywood and things opening back up in the Blue Ridge Parkway and Asheville and barbecue and all kinds of fun stuff. So if you'd like, you can go back and check it out if you're interested. Always like having Karen here. Karen's another great supporter of the channel, and happy to have you here. And hope you're doing well. Hope you're having a great start to your week. We're just talking about the Chimney Rock video that I just published yesterday and some of the nuances with the video itself. But everybody seems to be enjoying it. I wonder if some people get you mixed up with some other mountain mans on YouTube. So I haven't watched them. I just know there are other under the title Mr. Mountain Man. Yeah, so Rita, that's a good point. You know, YouTube, does not make, you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but when the accounts were created and I was going through this stuff, YouTube does not make the handle itself unique. So you can have duplicate names on YouTube. So yeah, there could be more than one Mr. Mountain Man, and using somebody else's name. The URL and some other characteristics, maybe like Twitter and Instagram and all those fun things, will be unique. That's why I couldn't get Mr. Mountain Man on exactly one word on YouTube and Instagram, because they were already taken. So I had to do Mr. Mountain _man. But yeah, the only way people would know, is just by the way I look, comparing to the other Mr. Mountain Man, which I haven't really watched before. I know because my account's usually logged in. If I put Mr. Mountain Man in Google, it's going to come up to mine. I don't know if other people will get mixed up, but that's why I always try to have all my information on links. But that is a good question. That's a good question. Rita says, I thought the video at Chimney Rock was really good. I think your kids are very brave to go on those trails. It's good to get them out because they have so much energy, and, it's good to get them exercise. Were they whining a little bit? You betcha they were. It's not video games and all that, but we want to give them a balance. We don't want them to be in front of electronics all the time. So it was good to get them out. And it was fun to get them out. And I love spending time with them. Life is so busy between work and responsibilities and going to the grocery store, and all these things. It's like cherished time. It's one of the things I liked about when we had Disney World annual passes is we had to go together as a group to Disney World, and we were always together. And take out Disney World and insert anything: your local park, the swimming pool, the beach, the walking around the block. It doesn't matter. Something that kept us together as a family, because when we're at the house, I'll be here doing this and they're over there. And so it's nice when we get out. So I really have a good memory of Chimney Rock, being together. And I do try to, for all you're probably not thinking, but I try to have a good balance with the whole YouTube thing too, because I don't want to monopolize the whole experience around recording to take away from those experiences with the kids. So I do try to have a balance when we go. So, the family's supportive, but I don't want to step away from a memory and be like, only thing I thought about was my gimbal or the camera, or did I get a good shot? So I really try to be aware and say, it's a family experience, but I'm going to double up and make a YouTube video at the same time. Ted and Deborah said, didn't notice any shaking in the Chimney Rock vlog. It was crystal clear. Thank you. I appreciate the feedback. It's probably just me being, a perfectionist. Like I said, I'm having a hard time because when I video edit, I never stop and I want to correct. And then I watch something and realize a mistake, and then it drives me bananas. But yeah. Cool. Karen Story says, follow Mr. Mountain Man on Instagram. It's instagram.com, Mr. Mountain _man. And thank you for posting that, Karen. I appreciate that. And everybody, if you want to see pictures of me in between, check out Instagram in between me doing videos and live stream, and also has Twitter, Mr. Mountain _man, twitter.com. I wanted to say goodnight to Kentucky Girl. I have to run. I also am going to be ending the live stream, but there's a really good comment here that I want to wrap it up on and have a quick discussion. My favorite video of yours is probably the hike on Mount Mitchell, although they all are fun to watch. Chad, I love the Mount Mitchell film. That is probably, and as I go fuzzy because I reach for a drink, you know what? This thing goes crazy, right? Like, sorry. Okay, there we go. Focus. The Mount Mitchell, we loved it. Like, my wife loved it. The elevation, highest point east of the Mississippi. You heard me say it like 10 times in the video. The views are spectacular. It was a late December Clue Carolina Blue day. I love the video at Mount Mitchell. I want to go back maybe when the restaurants open, the gift shop, do more hikes. It is so tranquil and peaceful up there. I love it. That too is definitely, if not my favorite video, top 3. The most popular video on the channel continues to be the Benjamin's Calabash Seafood Buffet. Speaking of buffets, that has the most amount of views. The one regret that I have, I want to remember to wear my my shirt next week for their buffet. That video resonated. I don't know how many of you were following me at that point. My Calabash Seafood Buffet video resonated with the owners of them. They reached out to me through YouTube and sent me this huge care package of like 15 t-shirts, hat, tote bag, and free dinner passes for the whole family. And that buffet is not cheap because it's got crab legs and everything. We had all intentions to go back to Myrtle Beach and use the passes and thank them. Well, you know how that goes now. I told my wife yesterday, I said, I don't live in regrets, but if I have one regret, it's that we didn't drive over to Myrtle Beach like in December and go eat at that buffet during Christmas. I really wish we could have gone back and done that. So Calabash Seafood Buffet is the most popular. Some of my other favorites are the first Chimney Rock hike, because I put a montage at the end of the original Cliffs Trail that is no longer, since the state bought it, where a lot of the scenes from Last of the Mohicans were filmed. Beautiful path. I've dug up some of my original digital camera pictures from that hike and posted them at the end of that video. I do like the first video, sans the fact I didn't have a gimbal and I thought it was a little shaky too. I like this new Chimney Rock video. I like the Gatlinburg video doing Ripley's. That was fun because that was our first deal there. And I was also with the kids that day. That was Super Bowl Sunday, and it was so dead in Gatlinburg. Now people have seen a picture of what Gatlinburg looks like when it's not busy because of COVID, because of the virus. But when I went there, that was pre all of that. That was an anomaly in itself. Like I took a picture of downtown Gatlinburg, and like you never see it like that. There was nobody there. So Super Bowl Sunday turned out to be a great day to be in Gatlinburg. And I'm trying to think what else. What else do you guys like as I wrap up this live stream? Let me know what your favorite videos are on the Mountain Man channel. I can remember almost all of them. I mean, I've got Sugarland's Visitor Center and the Foothills Parkway. So I've got some Tennessee videos. The Pancake Place over in Tennessee, Cabana Bay down in Florida, Myrtle Beach videos, several Myrtle Beach. I like the whole Myrtle Beach video as a whole. It's one of my longer videos. I like some of the outtakes at the end, like the lightning. The lightning was in the Calabash buffet. Oh, there was also lightning in the Myrtle Beach buffet or buffet video. And then in the fall, just trying to remember, I went to Gatlinburg. Some videos that are and are not popular were when I traveled internationally. When I went to the Philippines, my least favorite video that's not a live stream, believe it or not, was my stop at the Narita International Airport in Japan, which I thought was super cool because I had never been to a place like that. Must have not resonated with folks because I think it barely has 100 views, but I thought it was cool because the shopping and like looking at the prices and stuff. And so I just thought it was a really fun video. But yeah, so I don't know if you guys have any favorite videos, but I've enjoyed making all of them and I've learned a lot. Like I'll look back at my old videos and learn how I want to shoot and how I want to narrate, the equipment that I use. I also enjoyed the motorcycle video, even though there's not much narration in it. I enjoyed that video a lot. And as I've mentioned several times, I like to put it on the background because speaking of background music, I found a few that are really nice. So the hum of the motorcycle and that music, sometimes when I'm working, I'll put that video on at a low volume. So yeah, good comment there, Chad. I appreciate it. I didn't see anybody post any. I don't know if this StreamYard is delayed. Yeah, like I just got like 3 comments all at once. So I sometimes think that it's a little bit delayed versus seeing the YouTube live stream commenting. But anyway, Marvin says, I like the birthday dinner one at the buffet and I like the apple. Oh yeah, Apple Festival. So that's the Calabash buffet and then the Apple Festival. That was a lot of fun too. I was fortunate to do that with some good friends, Will and Don and Chris and Mindy from Yankee in the South. My family was there. And I did the pull-ups and I did the high strike. And that was a fun video. It was a really hot day, but that was a lot of fun. Chad said, good night, everyone. Take care and have a great week to you as well. Dale, you caught us on the tail end. I'm just about to end this. Hopefully you can go back and watch it and enjoy. Dale, another great regular around here in the Mr. Mountain Man community, and I hope you're having a great start to your week. And Rita said the Apple Festival one was really good. Hopefully I get to go back to the Apple Festival, see if they have it in the fall. One of my news and notes, the last one today, was that Hendersonville unveiled the bears, the artistic bears downtown. They're kind of analogous to the like the pumpkin people and those down in Gatlinburg, but the ones in Hendersonville get auctioned off for charity. They're like artists make them, so that's pretty cool. You were showing off on the pull-ups. Yeah, the pull-ups was neat because that was like it was like a marketing for the Army, I believe, because I got a free Army T-shirt. But it's fun to do. And the year before, the National Guard was out there and had a push-up contest. I didn't have a video on my channel about that, but the only thing about the push-ups is I had to compete against another guy. It was as many push-ups as you could do in 5 minutes. So it was close to 100. I tried to do them in sets of 25. But my form was like really good. Like I was all the way down. Well, this younger guy comes over and he does these little push-ups where he's like just barely moving, but they counted him. And I lost to him. And if I would have done those little tiny half push-ups, I probably would have won. But anyway, it was fun. The people are great out there. Very, just a good community. And so I enjoy the Apple Festival. And all the apple growers bring their apples down there and try them out. And they apple ice cream, apple donuts, and all that fun stuff. So I hope to get back to the Apple Festival. Hendersonville, North Carolina is a great place to stop for lunch or dinner and walk around as a half-day activity. I think there's like antique shop and a toy shop and little bookstores. It's a much quieter than downtown Asheville, although not to take away from downtown Asheville, but they're only like 30 minutes apart. So really cool in Western North Carolina. Dale said, I'm sorry, no notice. I will rewatch for sure. I know that I'm streaming at the same time as I believe Yankee in the South, which I don't want to do. And I apologize about that. It's just my schedule. I don't have much of a choice. I only stream once a week. And so I'm with the family and work. And then I did a quick workout and then I come here. So I know that hurts attendance a little bit because folks enjoy that. And I don't blame them because I do too. But I'm just publishing or going live when I can. So hopefully, you all that enjoy this channel, the once a week I do will be able to attend it. And if not, it stays up in my live stream playlist or on the main videos for a couple of weeks. So you guys can check it out there as well. With that, that's a wrap for this Mountain Man Monday, episode 27. I really enjoyed having you all here. You guys are great. You really are. I enjoy the comments, the feedback. Thank you. If you have any suggestions or you like this or you don't, I love to hear that. That helps me bake it into the channel. And I hope you guys have a great week. It's going to be a rainy week here in the mountains. But hey, you know what that's going to do? That's going to green up the grass, green up the trees, keep us from being in a drought. Not that we were, but just, keep us out of that. It's going to make it for real nice. And hopefully we'll enjoy the weekend. So anyway, everybody have a great week. I hope everything, enjoy the video if you didn't get to see it. And let me know what you think by leaving comments. And I will see you all next Mountain Man Monday live stream, which will be episode 28. Take care, everyone. Have a great week, and thanks for stopping by. We'll see you later.